So my brothers and sisters, having said that, what is inheritance in Islam? Inheritance comes in two forms. Something called fixed shares, which are called in the Quran fara'id. They are obligatory. They are distributed perfectly and clearly in the Quran and in the Sunnah. And we cannot play around with it, even with a dollar. No playing around with it. That's number one. The second type of inheritance is called a bequest. A bequest is what you, before your death, say, I'd like to give from my property in charity this much. Either to a mosque, to a charity organization, or to Gaza, or to poor people around the world, or you want to give it to a family member who is poor, to a niece or nephew, to an uncle or aunt, something like that. That's called a bequest, Wasiyah. So now we have fara'id and wasiyah. The fara'id obligatory, shares of inheritance that are fixed, and bequests is maximum a third of what you would like to give out in as a sadaqah, as a charity. However, that third that you want to give in charity, you can give it to anybody while you are alive. You can't say, for example, after death, you can't say, for example, after death, you can decide as you wish. You have to tell them about the third before your death. So that third can go to anybody except for the heirs who have fixed shares. So they are your father, your mother, your brother, your father, your mother, your daughter, your son, and your spouse. These 5 people, you cannot bequest any of that third to them. Bequest. If you want to give an extra from your wealth to your spouse or to your children or to your parents, then you must give that to them while you're alive. You cannot say, when I die. If you want to give to those 5 people, your father, your mother, your spouse, your children, you can, from the third, then you have to say, I'll give it to you in my lifetime as a gift. And whatever other wealth you want to give, you can give all your wealth away if you like, but in your lifetime. You can't say, after my death, you can take that, because that's unfair. You might say, I want to give to your sister this much, which is more than what the Quran says, but only after my death. That this is not allowed. I've had people who come to me and say all the time, my father passed away, and he said after I die he had a house, and he wanted to give it to my sister, and as for me and my brothers, we just got a share that is just a little bit of money. I said, that's not allowed, haram. I said, but he bequested for her to have the house before I died, before he died. I said, no. If he gave that house to your sister before his death, then that's okay. He's allowed. But if he said after my death, this is not allowed. Everything after a person's death is taken from who? From Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And where is the source? The Quran.